This is a story about 5 women and an idea. The idea was to explore and capture the life experience of aging women. The 5 women are from different walks of life and varying stages in their lives and careers, and none of them are getting any younger. It all started with these 2, Eleanor Dietrich and Lynne Hall.
I remember her saying that she wanted to spend time with women who were about 80 to sort of maybe inform her about how to understand the upcoming phase of her life. And we returned to that several times.
And Linda and I were talking at one point about the idea of having portraits of older women who have had interesting lives. And it just kind of took off from there.
Shortly after that we were at an art opening in Railroad Square, and Becki was there. And I know Becki through FSU and through her work at SAIL. And I knew she took fantastic photographs. And we just turned to her and said, Becki, this is Eleanor, this is our project. And she immediately said, count me in.
The Becki that Linda speaks of is photographer Becki Rutta.
Being a portrait photographer, a collaboration, I see photography as a collaboration, and then when these women came into the picture, it felt like a very natural thing to start this collaboration with them. And what was important to me is to let women age. So oftentimes in film and in photography, we see women, we say they look great because they look like they're 35 when they're 60 years old.
The subjects depicted in their project are 17 local women, 65 years or older, who have been doing, teaching, and creating for their communities. They've been helping others around them, often with little or no recognition given or expected.
It's called The Women Among Us, and we call it subtitled Portraits of Strength. So that kind of evolved after we got started.
Part of my goal in this was to show the wrinkles, to show the white hair, to let us be proud of those things and normalize it.
Also collaborating on the project was writer and Big Bend Poet Laureate Mary Jane Ryals.
Well, it's kind of like what Becki said. It's time to honor women of a certain age, and we are still part animal, and so we assess people right away by how they look or who they are, etc. And people tend to overlook older women and older men too, I think. And I just think it's a great way to bring them the attention they have earned so well.
Her job was to write a haiku about the subject of each portrait, as well as a profile of the person.
We all would love to have put 2 or 3 images up, but ultimately decided for impact, we're going to have the one on the wall and we'll put a second photo in the book. That's happening. But the other deciding factor is Mary Jane Ryals' is haikus.
Photograph, big photograph, and larger than usual writing beside it, which is the haiku. I felt Becki wanted to honor the writing, so I really appreciated that.
That's just as important piece of art that's going to be on the wall, her writing, and I matched that to the image. I said, how are these going to play off of each other? Because that's so important to the show. So that also helped me decide one image over the other and gave me good feedback for how that was going to be seen.
And conspirator number 5 was Carol Lynne Knight, a graphic designer, writer, and poet, who was also one of the 17 women chosen to be exhibited.
I was one of the last people to get photographed, and when I was sitting there waiting while Sally Coreopsis was getting photographed and talking, I thought from the description of the project that they needed a book, and I didn't see anybody in the room who knew how to make a book. And I've worked with Anhinga Press since 1992-ish and done a lot of books. So I volunteered to do that. I thought with all the work we were doing on photographs that there should be a permanent recognition of all the women, something for them to take with them when it's over at the gallery, something to preserve those photographs that Becki Rutta worked so hard on. And we also needed a place to put the interviews that Mary Jane Ryals did.
We have historians, nurses, teachers and professors, scientists, librarians, naturalists, editors, professional protesters. So we have quite a combination of women in this group of 17.
A lot of the people that were chosen were people that we've never heard of in Tallahassee, but are making significant contributions to what the town is, in good ways.
The photo and haiku exhibit, Women Among Us, Portraits of Strength, will run October 14th through 30th at Lemoyne Arts. The book will be available at the gallery as well. For WFSU Public Media, I'm Mike Plummer.